John, every time we talk about valuation compression, I think of what you said last year. You said 40 to 50% of the Fortune 500 won't exist in a decade. Probably 60% of the startups won't exist in a decade, and a number of them won't exist in 2 to 3 years. It's going to be a brutal change. Is this the kind of thing that reflects what you were trying to get across back then?
It does. And I think the key word now for investors and for business leaders is the ability to be very agile. But what you're going to see, and this really speaks to the valuation of the companies that have larger valuations, they will always be replaced. The number of unicorns doubled this year in the U.S., over 500 unicorns in total, but over 260 new year to date. So you're going to have a feeder system coming through. So in total, as long as you're betting on a portfolio, I think you're going to do well with these new companies coming into the market. But I do think agility is the key watchword, and my key concern this year is actually around inflation, which you all have been talking about.
Yeah. When you say agility, what does that mean? Does that mean high levels of cash or some sort of cash? What metric do you look to as sort of the golden lens?
I look to the metric of the CEO, she or he, do they move quickly and adjust quickly? Secondly, out of my 20 startups, we all raised cash very aggressively over the last 9 months, so we're positioned for a 2-year run. Third, I do think the economy is going to do okay, but I think they're going to be winners and losers, as you've seen typically when interest rates tighten, which I think inevitably they will. So I think the leaders will be in the internet category. You all talked about it earlier. I like the traditional players of Google and Amazon and Facebook, but I think there'll be a new generation of leaders as well, the unicorns that become decacorns and grow beyond it. And then I like some of the semiconductor players because of the emphasis about the importance of that in our economy. Companies like NVIDIA, AMD, that I think are very well run and very well focused for the future.
So as you look to the future, tell us what you think the trends are going to be beyond those mega cap stocks. I mean, I see in your notes that you think that emerging tech will go mainstream. What qualifies as emerging tech, and how do interest rate concerns and sort of rising inflation play into some of those companies?
So in the sequence you raised it, Julia, when I think about the emerging technology, the areas I would bet big time on is artificial intelligence. Last year, we said it would be at the session with you all, it would be the year of the unicorn. And it's where startups become unicorns and then grow beyond. It was by far and away the best unicorn growth on a global basis, with the majority of countries around the world, the U.S., France, Germany, the UK, more than doubling their unicorns. And that means job creation, future IPOs, et cetera. The one loser was China, only 15% growth in unicorn. And I think perhaps their economic policy, and for us watching it from a distance and having watched their 14th 5-year plan, I think they may have some trouble in GDP growth looking 5 to 10 years out, because if you don't feed the unicorns, you don't feed the future growth in terms of the overall approach. But I like artificial intelligence. There's going to be the next Cisco, the next Facebook, the next Google out of that. And I like the cloud moving to the edge. I think people who really get that right, and cybersecurity are the areas I'm personally investing very heavily in.